In one of my reviews of Clarence, someone requested me to do a review off of this episode, Money Broom Wizard, which is a simple episode where Clarence and his friends just go through the arcade to use the coins, despite the fact that they have the less cash in comparison to the other people in the arcade. With this episode being one of the first episodes of this show, and the fact that it showcases Clarence's freedom of imagination with his friends Sumo and Jeff, I really feel like that every time that Clarence does something through the majority of the episode, he manages to make the episode worthwhile, judging of how he is a lot less complicated and difficult to hate when it comes to first impressions. Because, in all honesty, if I see promos of this when this episode was airing, mainly this show being new for the first time, I would be a lot more judgmental. But then again, that all changes when I got older and older, and with this show turning 11 in a few months, this episode showcases of what I think this show is gonna be, especially after watching the first Halloween episode. With Sumo, Jeff, and Clarence splitting up in order to use their coins wisely, I really feel like that this is relatable when it comes to people who don't have enough coins to do all of the arcades, to the point that using one is honestly the most important value of using that coin for the arcade machine that really caught your attention. Because what we see, Sumo picking his coin, honestly, a punching glove, a gun, and a helmet, it's worth all one coin for the value that he sees in that arcade machine. When it comes to Jeff, he uses his coin on the Money Broom, which is one of those machines that you even see in restaurants. Well, you put in the coin, and that coin pushes multiple coins, possibly, and you get more coins. And he uses the math in order to figure out how to use the coin at the correct time when it comes to people using their coins in this machine that don't succeed. And then he needs to find the perfect spot and timing in order to use his coin in order to get multiple coins. Even though that some people would probably not take this Money Broom machine seriously, it also is understandable that some people would still do the math when it comes to trying to do it at the right time, also at the right spot in order to get multiple coins. Because there were also dollar bills, possibly $20 bills in Money Broom machines that some people in this world are lucky that they managed to win. And I'm pretty sure that if this machine had nothing to do with getting tickets, then I'm pretty sure that Jeff would have used the spare coins on something else. As for Clarence, who is still playing Wizard, who is on a sugar rush after eating a dessert from an after birthday party, I really feel like that his nature in things really showcases that he is somewhat similar to Steven, considering that the show Steven Universe came out 6 months or 5 before this show came out, and with the character designs being mostly different despite the fact that 2 characters are fat, I really feel like that every time that Clarence would do something, if he was a crystal gem and Steven would just have a normal life, then Steven will probably have the life that he really wanted when it comes to his outburst in Mr. Universe from Future. But then again, when it comes to Clarence being a crystal gem, that's most likely an entirely different universe that he won't be a wizard at all. Judging of how that he mostly takes control of the machines that he didn't get caught at doing and allowing other people to win more tickets. I really feel like that if it wasn't for the fact that he took a basketball from the basketball set and used it for a game that isn't meant to be used for basketball, that actually led to the Money Broom machine that manages to give him and Jeff more tickets, it wouldn't lead to them going to the laser tag area with them winning their gifts. Mainly Jeff's laser and the finger disco ball for Clarence. I really feel like that the laser tag that Belson and the other characters are in is mainly a demonstration on these characters with their slight imagination making them superior over the other characters. And since that this is the third or fourth time I'm talking about Belson, it's gonna take another while for me to get to an episode centering around him. But when it comes to the odds, other characters will probably have a better chance on getting some kind of attention, considering that the pre-go episode that I talked about nearly 3 years ago did showcase Belson at his worst. So it's only a matter of time to see if there's another episode where Belson is mostly at his worst when it comes to what he's going to do towards the other characters. Granted, he's not going to be like Num Num from We Bear Bears, even though that his design took inspiration of Num Num's design, but at the same time, you never know what newcomers are getting themselves into when it comes to watching more episodes of the show whenever they feel like it. Jeez, even though I'm not watching a lot of shows like I used to, I'm still having so many characters thinking about after 2,000 plus videos on my channel. Then again, it really shows that the variety that I have when it comes to making videos is still there. And obviously, I'm not done anytime soon when it comes to wanting to have ideas, despite the fact that I'm still having burnouts here and there. When it comes to Clarence and Jeff winning despite the fact that they didn't get paid to go into laser tag, honestly, it kind of shows that Belson is the type of character that is on the losing end of the stick, to the point that being a good character and not being too much of a nuisance because Clarence and his friends aren't that, really made me see the nature of this show a little bit more. So overall, this was a decent arcade episode. There may be better arcade episodes, but I have to admit that this episode did showcase the nature of Clarence and his two friends, Jeff and Sumo, even though that Sumo did spend the majority of the time playing the arcade machine that really got him so intrigued. It may take another while for me to get back into the show, but the characters are slowly growing on me, which is saying a lot considering that the first time I talked about this show was back in December of 2021, which was 3 years ago. For anyone who really wants me to review this show more often, I apologize, but again, time will tell if another binge watch is in me by binge watching this show when I get the chance. I'm giving this episode a 7.75 out of 10.